Welcome to the 10-Minute Life Lesson Podcast. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. I train people for improved personal and professional development, offering my assistance to those ready to develop their goals into tangible, focused, and achievable plans of action. And this podcast is one of the tools I use to accomplish my mission. Generally, when the timer hits 9 minutes and 59 seconds on this recording, you'll have a fully developed life lesson that you can take with you and begin to implement immediately. And if this week's lesson has a ring of familiar, then it's probably a reinforcement of a life change you've already started to implement. This podcast falls under the umbrella of my greater personal development efforts, all under the Your Better You brand. For more information on accountability coaching or to gain access to tools, tricks, and life hacks, visit yourbetteryou.info. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Now, here is this week's life lesson. I am hours away from a very, very, very big opportunity. So I'm close to wrapping up my production for the day a little earlier than normal, trying to get everything synced up and ready to go, and as it should be, so that I can focus on preparing for this great opportunity. It's something I've done before, and so it's not anything that is brand spanking new, but it's something that, because of circumstances, I was frozen out of for quite some time, and now I get a shot to do it again. I am thrilled. I am ecstatic, and I have been having internal celebrations for a day or so. And once it's all said and done, I can talk about it. I will celebrate it with the world. That's what I'm going to do because I had a big something happen. I had a large thing come to pass. I had a lot of hard work finally pay off to something. It's not the greatest accomplishment that it could have come around from the work put in there, but I sowed the seeds and the harvest has been reaped. It's a great deal and can lead to more things. So despite the inconveniences that taking the opportunity does provide, I'll get over it. The people around me will get over it, and we'll all be better for it. They'll love me because I'm be a happier person, and I'll love me because I'm doing something that I really, really enjoy. But this was hard work and a lot of effort put into it. And essentially the opportunity opened itself up. The door was open as I was standing there. So I was able to see the door, see the opportunity I wanted, and take it. You may be looking at a situation very similar. You're putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and then all of a sudden a door opens and an opportunity comes to you and you take it and it pays off. Maybe it doesn't pay off as largely as you thought, but the potential for a larger payoff is there. Larger gains are coming. It is okay to pause and take in a situation for what it is. A win, big or small, it is a win. It's a W. It's something moving closer to the big, audacious, hairy goals and the completion that you're trying to get to on the back end. But there are three things you need to do specifically. Three things you need to do. Technically four, but we'll put two together when you have a lot of hard work paying off in a great dividend. Great as in great for you, not necessarily the actual value, because sometimes it's not so much the big payoff, as we already said, but the fact that you're in the club, you're in the door, and the payoff is coming, and you know that what you're doing actually has some legs and can actually work. Number one is to celebrate. Yes, I said you can stop and kind of take in the situation right there, but you really need to get some sort of celebration. You have to do a little dance party in your cubicle or sing a little song in your head or do something to really set the moment that you hit this spot, minor or major or moral or just non-loss. Sometimes a non-loss is a bigger win than anything. Whatever your personal dance move is, you need to go ahead and do that. Prime example, I'm a member of many podcasting groups across the internet, specifically on Facebook. And every so often, a podcaster will pop up something as a milestone. In the last couple of days, there have been plenty of podcasters hitting big download milestones. Some of them monster, some of them just amazing for themselves. And every single time one pops up in there, I make sure I put in my 2 cents. I put a heart in there. I put a little gif of someone dancing. I make sure I'm in the party because trust me, this is hard work. And getting people to listen to things like this is hard work. You guys know because I had to convince you in the first place. So take a little time to celebrate the win that it is for what it is. Something worth celebrating. A hard thing that you made happen and you had your hard work come to fruition. Take some time to celebrate. Next, evaluate. Don't take too much time to celebrate, but once you're done, know you have to figure out what comes next. So you got this big win, this win from all this hard work. And what does it actually mean? Maybe it's a loss you're coming back from. Essentially, what does that mean? Where do you go from this new point, assuming you've made a great effort and move forward somewhere? Where do you go from here? Assuming you made a great effort and move forward from somewhere, where do you not go back again so you don't lose momentum? These are questions, and questions in that similar vein will help you figure out your direction that you need to be pushing as you move forward for your next thing. Because remember, you're not done until you're effectively done. As long as there is breath in your lungs and ability to move your muscles somewhere, you should be working towards the next thing. It doesn't have to necessarily be a greater thing, but it just be a thing, and it's what comes after next. You don't stop until you permanently stop, and when you permanently stop, you are permanently stopped. Finally, and we crammed them together, where you're going to plan and execute that plan, of course, because you've done your evaluation of what happened and you know what basically you need to do, and you've celebrated the win and know how it feels to get that honor. So now's the time to put in some extra real work and put together an actual plan, some sort of roadmap to get from where you are to wherever the next step will possibly be. Sometimes you know exactly where to go. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just a matter of going in a direction. And sometimes you'd have no idea what's happening. You just know you should start moving and waiting for a sign, the next door to open for something to pick up a pace. You make a plan to do whatever you're going to do, as vague or detailed as you need it to be, because it is about you and what's coming up next. Then you get to work on it. You actually execute the plan. Work the plan as far as it can go until it needs to be shifted or adjusted. Or you get another big win and have to come up with a brand new plan of action. A pivot for that spot, if you will. We put those two together because we want you to focus on them as the next step beyond towards the next big win. We want you to take the time to celebrate and pause for effect, which sort of similar, sort of not, but celebrate the win for the win. Get some joy and happiness out of hitting that spot. And if you need to take some time off because it was a lot of effort, take some time off to recoup before you get back into your head and mindset. Then you evaluate. That's where the mental work is, but it's not the hardest part of the mental work because it's just a matter of doing your after action, going over the bits and pieces of what worked, what didn't work, what worked well, what didn't work as well, and where things should be going from here. I put emphasis on the question of where things shouldn't be going, where you shouldn't be going, because that's a big part of your success. Once you have a move that works and know that it works, you perfect it a little better, and you do a little less of things that don't work out as well. If you're a business person and you have a certain skill, you want to hire in people to emulate the things you don't do so well or take over things you don't do so well, so you can focus on the thing you do the best. And that's the best way to make things work. If everyone's working on what their better thing is, then people don't have to focus on things that they aren't as good as. Not that they can't do it, but if you work on something that you work on better, then you'll get more out of it in the end. So you're going to look for things that work very well for you so you can improve on those, and things that didn't work so well for you so you can try to avoid those or just not do them at all. And maybe it is a physical location. Maybe you need to move out of a certain spot to get more traffic in a certain spot. That's something that goes along in your actual planning. Then you plan and execute. You actually write down the plans, work on the plans, draft the actions that need to be done to get to the next big thing, get to your next big win, get to your next spot where you can take a celebration and evaluate where you are. Obviously, there'll be evaluation of where you are as you make your journey. You're going to take your map and make sure you're hitting the right waypoints and going in the right direction and making sure you're on the path to the right place. But so evaluation is sort of all over the place. But these steps are here being presented to you as a way to make sure you enjoy that thing you did, because you did put in all that hard work. A great thing's happening, but how to make sure you maintain your momentum for the next one. You first have a celebration. Then you evaluate how you got there and how you should keep going. Then you make a plan and get to work. Because like we said, you are not done until you are officially done. You got time. You got a chance to put in effort. You've got an idea, a thought, a dream. Then keep it working. We need you getting that next big win. We need you working that next big win. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Just doing this podcast is always a major win. Getting it done every single day, or once a week, should say, is a great win. And the fact that we're getting a lot of great responses lately is awesome. We're seeing the numbers for sort of inside baseball, if you will, as baseball season is coming upon us. We're seeing the numbers and stats grow again, which is awesome. That means you are sharing with people, and more people who are looking for personal improvement or looking for this brand of personal improvement are tuning in and loving it. And we're glad for that. We will appreciate all the comments that you want to send our way, because that's what we do. And we also appreciate the love you're giving to the other podcast, the shorter one, which is Steps to Your Better You. That one, 90 seconds, and you're done. You can send comments for those two, plus any of the articles that are released at the website, yourbetteryou.info, anytime you want to. And you can send it to yourbetteryouinfo@gmail.com. That's the email address specifically for this podcast or the whole Your Better You project. Look for information coming very soon for the next cohort to begin for Better You in 52. We have a program that's essentially a 52-week email course. It's also online to catch up with it. But we send you an email every single week on something to do to work towards a better you in 52 weeks. It doesn't take 52 weeks to be a better you. It just takes the desire to want to be there. But these are steps and ideas that you can use to improve on whatever it is that you got going on, because you are great. We just want to get you a little bit better. Look for info on that coming down very soon. And, of course, you can email me to my direct lines at jclevelandpayne@gmail.com, or check out my main website, jclevelandpayne.net. Thank you once again for tuning in for this episode of the 10-Minute Life Lesson Podcast. And join us again next week for another great edition. Well, we'll give you a life lesson in under 10 minutes here for the 10-Minute Life Lesson from yourbetteryou.info.